Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are live on Twitch, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. Our producer Samantha's here. I'm just laughing at something that Stephanie Shea said in the Twitch chat room. She said, she has the perfect nose. No. Yes, our next guest is known for her perfect nose.
Yes, it's Bailey Callahan. She's here again.
Yeah.
She's got a brand new single coming out. Renee's here, who I like to refer to as Miami Joe.
Because he looks like, he does look like every one of your friends from Miami looks like Rene.
Yeah. And then I tell Miami Joe that I'm like, hey, when Bailey hits it big, like Taylor Swift big, take me with you. I'm tired of this podcast. I'm from Miami. Me and you can work together.
You know what's weird is that
I know the text.
Your voice got oddly creepy and grumbly when you did that. I'm like, is it? Whoa!
That's my Miami voice.
Yeah, that's how you know when he's actually being genuine is when he goes into like his villain. The funny thing is, as many of the Spanish friends that you have, as many of the people that you know of Miami, you don't know a lick of Spanish. Had a Spanish nanny for like 4 years.
It's true, but I have to talk because all my Miami friends, my Hispanic Miami friends, because everybody is like stereotypes or whatever, so they want me to talk like a sleazy rich white businessman. That's what, and then that's what I go into my stereotype.
It's only fair, because if you're going to want them to stereotype, then you have to stereotype.
Every white guy is a sleazy politician, so I have to talk like that.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Well, hey, Bailey, how's it been?
Good.
You look more beautiful, younger, and taller.
Oh, thank you. I'm about to turn 20. I feel like I'm going on 30 right now. So
I mean,
you're working your ass off, man.
I have been. It's been nonstop.
Now, for a 20-year-old, you've had a lot of traveling experience, work experience. I mean, basically at this point, you are familiar with the industry, the music industry, and you've done more.
You're not really new.
I know it's weird. This is my 9th year. I've been doing music for half of my life.
Yeah.
That's weird.
And primarily like country music, right?
Yeah, I mean, really
like
all
pop,
of it, cover band, whatever. I had my first real gig when I was 11.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it's weird. But I always feel like I'm so happy to be back. Like, I feel like this is going to be like our little reunion every year when the new single comes out, like the big one. We always get together, so I'm happy to see you guys.
Yeah, we're happy to see you.
Happy to see you too.
And so going back,
you want to hear something really sweet? What? You signed our sink last time we were in here, and the cleaning people, Her Majesty Services, are so sweet that they'll clean it, and they want to be. I mean, obviously, we live in a time when pandemics and things can break out at any moment. Everybody should be washing their hands, now more than ever, and they will go through with a marker and rewrite your signature.
That's so cute.
Isn't that cute?
Oh my gosh.
Her Majesty, you do not have to. That's a go above and beyond.
They go above and beyond.
They do. They do it for you. They do it for Guy Torry, and they do it for what's his name?
Which one?
Oh God, Tony.
Tony Rock.
Tony Rock. They do it for Chris Rock's brother, and you're in the same. So it's Guy Torry, Tony Rock, and Bailey Callahan.
Wow, only us on the toilet.
Well, you're on the sink actually. You would never.
Sink,
you would
sink.
men toilet only.
I was like, I knew I signed somewhere outrageous. I didn't remember.
So Bailey, speaking of, you've been playing music for 11 years, but and I asked you before the show started if you saw the Taylor Swift documentary,
really good
because it kind of shows, at least with her, the behind the scenes and what the actual gig is about. Because most people, they see her on stage, they hear her music, and that's it. That's but the whole grind of it all. I mean, you just flew in from Nashville this morning, correct?
Yeah.
And so how long have you been doing the music grind? Because it's been years now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and it is a grind, and kind of explain what that even is.
Well, it's crazy because I've always thought that I've been busy, but I've never been this busy in my entire life. Like, I will literally hop on a flight every single Thursday or every single Friday at 5 a.m. and like go to wherever I'm playing. Last weekend I was in Arkansas, so I drove 6 hours. That night had a show, the next day had a show, then drove back, and then like hopped on another flight.
Yeah.
Even like April I'm gone. I'll be in let's say I'll be in LA the first week, then the second week we're in Arkansas, then we're doing something in Ohio, then we fly to Napa. So it's like constantly back to back, like, and then gigging and, doing, radio promo or whatever that may be. So a lot of that stuff people don't see.
The hotels, the travel, the airplane.
Is it
traveling
hard?
on airplanes
Or just
pain.
eating or trying to eat something that's something substantial, like just getting calories, because if you're up on stage, you're singing, you're performing, you're putting in time, you're traveling. I mean, it's got to be tough to just get a good meal, right?
It's not necessarily like a good meal. It's more like trying to eat healthy.
Right.
Because then there's like a lot of Chick-fil-A's or like, airports like Starbucks, whatever, and they don't really have like what you need. But I find as long as I bring like a pair of running shoes, I can like hit the gym. I do like the treadmill or whatever. So
really?
that's my big thing is I love to run. So like as long as there's a treadmill, like I feel like I can equally balance it out.
Here's a fun fact: for every one step she takes, I have to take 9.
Oh yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah, because how tall she is.
Oh man! So if you heard her running, it sounds like a normal person running. When you hear me running, it's the.
So that grind too, and like going back to the Taylor Swift documentary, it seemed to me, and I saw a lot of like just from talking to you a bunch of times and interviewing you, it seems like you and Taylor Swift have this internal grind, this internal ambition to do this that is beyond, because I think the general public looks at famous people and the successful people, Taylor Swift's and you and people in the music industry trying to work to get there, and they think that their motivation is money and the fame and the millions that come along with it.
Right.
That is the rare part though. Like I mean, how many Taylor Swifts are there? How many successful musicians are there at that level? Very rare.
Yeah.
So a lot of it, I think, is just this the love of music, the art of it, the passion to be successful.
I think that's the word. I think that's kind of the theme of this month for you and I. We've been using the word passion a lot, even with ourselves and what we do here. It's internal, right? She's got to have that,
because there's no way anybody would do this without passion, because it's so hard and it takes so much time and so much effort. And if you didn't have the passion, you'd give up, because it would break most people just from the travel schedule and the work schedule.
Let me ask you something real quick. You are fascinated with younger people like Bailey who
have this grind and the passion.
There was a the soccer player that played for Orlando City. He's since been traded, but when he came to us, I want to say he was like 16.
I do remember that.
And he would literally train, and he made the U.S. the under 16 team, which is like such a big honor. He's like playing for our country, like such a huge honor. And he was like you. He was one of those guys that just like head down doing it. It was like it's in the blood almost.
So were you born with that? I mean, it's hard to ask someone that,
Lady Gaga.
Yeah, but it seems like a genetic trait that people are born with, just to have an insane amount of drive and passion to reach their goals beyond.
Tyler Turner.
Yeah, Tyler Turner.
That's who it was.
Okay. I think that there's like several different perspectives on that, and so I can like touch more into that in like a minute. But I would say I was born with it technically, because like it's just truly like my love. Like I wouldn't want my life any other way. And then also too, like my mom told me the other day that like when I turn 21, I'm off their insurance, and that like really scared me. So I'm like, oh my God, like this has to be my life now. Like there's no going back.
Yeah.
But I think too, like even touching on like the money topic or whatever, like that stuff, that stuff comes and goes. Whether it's House of Blues or whatever, like you at the end of the day, like you still have to do like the restaurant shows to like make a living or whatnot, because the bigger you get, whether it's opening for Eric Church or like how we talked about House of Blues, like they pay you an exposure. So it's like kind of weird in that sense. But like fortunately, I just got a house, so that's kind of cool.
Congratulations.
Oh no, that's not cool at all.
And
that's super cool.
And so like
man.
right now it's kind of cool, like because all my friends are in college, like trying to do whatever and like have like their retail jobs, and that I do that, like I have done that in the past, but like
you've been working for 11 years straight.
But now
I had one job when I got into college, a substantial subs, and then I didn't even have car insurance.
No, but what an amazing accomplishment to have your eyes kind of set on that. Was buying a house or purchasing property something you always wanted to do, or is that just the next progression of? Like at least it's almost like you're injecting a little bit of stability into something that your schedule is all over the place, but you have a home.
I really just want to be like a good businesswoman. So like I know Nashville is really, continuously growing.
Sure.
And so I think it'd be good to like invest in stuff like that. And so, that was one thing. But then even talking about like the drive and whatnot, I think I'm sure you guys can attest to this. Like, I think you have to have that one thing at the end of the day that like brings you back to like why you love what you do so much, because, running your own company really can be like.
Do you
very
see the
businessy.
emptiness in her eyes? When you said that, Tom and I both, we were like, what is that thing for us? And we were running the numbers in our brains, and I got nothing.
This is the equivalent to a factory position at this point. We're just stamping license plates.
Right.
We come in here, we clock in, we stamp the license plate, we're dead inside.
Yeah, there's no going back.
We lost the passion years ago, Bailey.
Remember, it was like it was Wile E. Coyote and then that sheepdog, and they would clock in.
Yeah.
You know, like, see you, Ralph, see you, Stan.
Yeah.
Remember, I was Daniel's intern when I started this radio business. I was bright-eyed TC.
He
I was like, yes, I want to do this. I want to, and then just grinded me down to the point I hate everything.
I mean, we've been whittled down like George Washington's wooden teeth.
Yeah. I not only hate what I do, I hate our listeners. They can't stand it. When they come up to me, they're like, we love what you do. I'm like, yo, I hate you.
Yeah. You know the number one thing
all these people on Twitch, I can't stand
our
them.
listeners,
Especially
the number one
Norm.
thing I say to them when they come out, they go, hey, man, I had a guy yesterday. He goes, hey, Daniel? I go, yeah. He goes, man, I love the show. I go, gross. I go, you are...
I say,
you're
why?
Disgusting.
Have you ever heard me talk? I'm an idiot.
You can't
Wait
even...
till you meet him in person, y'all. No,
he can't even say that he's an idiot. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot.
It's like the one thing from The Grinch where he does the echo and he's like, I'm an idiot. You're an idiot.
So anyway, back
now
to
that we've embarrassed ourselves in front of Bailey and Rene.
So let's talk about the House of Blues show. That's March 14th.
13th.
Oh, 13th. Sorry. March 13th, House of Blues, and your single's getting released today.
Yeah.
If you're listening to the podcast or the radio.
Congratulations.
And tell us about the new single.
So I'm so excited for it. It's called Roll.
Okay.
And so for a long time, last time I was in here, it was my previous single release for Homemade. And so for a really long time, I think you even touched on it back then. I'd always been viewed as like, no matter what age I was like the 13-year-old that had come to town. And no matter what, like after proving myself, like turning 18, like moving, like I still like could never get out of that funk. And so I think like it took a little bit of growing up and like maturing and whatever, that like I really wanted to adapt to being more like badass, I guess you could say. Like I didn't want to be viewed like I love Taylor Swift, but I wanted to be my own person, and I think that for me is more like the girl version of Air Church.
Okay.
So like kind of like rock and roll, like country, like I would classify it as like alternative, like blues country maybe.
Okay.
And so but like my upbringings were like the Dixie Chicks and Taylor Swift, so that's a little bit of a difference between the two. So I really wanted to like own in on my craft and like the writing and like the production as far as like musically trying to like get that sound. And so when Homemade came out, that was kind of the first like beginning steps of me like achieving that. And so it's been a year, and I wrote a song in December, and like as we were writing it, I was like, this is it. Like, this is the next single.
You could feel it. Yeah, that's awesome.
And are you going to play it today?
Yeah, you guys want me
She's
to.
you're moving away from that Taylor Swifty kind of thing. Great job on bringing that up for the first half of the interview.
No, I wasn't comparing.
No, I think it's so cool though. Like that was really eye opening.
Well, and this leads me to my next question, because if you start your art, your music when you are a child, which you did, you grow and your music grows with you. But I think though people that are listening to people's music when they're a child and then they make that transition into adulthood, a lot of times it's hard for artists to make that transition. Like Miley Cyrus did it in an extreme way.
I think maybe she felt like she had to, and it seems like it worked for her. It seemed like she was able to put it all back together at the end. Like even her relationship with her family. Well, it seems like everything's back to normal now. It's about as good as it can get.
And her career was kind of different in the fact that she was on a kids show for primarily only kid audience, and then she had to train like make a hard stop and a hard transition. Most artists like a Taylor Swift can gradually do it through their music and stuff. And do you think about that, like the marketing side of that?
Yeah, it's crazy. So luckily, like I don't think I'm as big. That it was that big of a deal for me to go more rocky.
Okay.
So I was fortunate with that. But yeah, no, like, I have like such a younger family. I mean, it's weird. Like I have, people like y'all's age, not saying that. I see it like adults. Like I have
Miami Joe.
I have like the adults, right?
Miami Joe's older.
I'm the oldest.
Yeah. Well, not Miami Joe. He hit the hard streets of Miami.
But he doesn't look like I look the oldest.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Well, what's weird is like I have, I connect more with like like adults, but I've always wanted to be like a role model. And so because of like the Taylor Swift upbringing, I do have like a lot of younger fans too. And so even like I wanted to get a tattoo, like a simple, like I want to get homemade tattooed on me, like super little. And my whole team was like freaking out, like, Bailey, like, we don't know if this is a good idea. Like, what if people, you know,
face tattoo, heart.
Yeah, exactly. No, like it's, I mean, it was definitely like more of a struggle as far as maybe like the appearance goes, or like wearing shorts on stage, you know, like stuff like that. It sounds crazy.
I never thought about that, but you have to think about that stuff.
Because you have a certain amount of your audience is like maybe more conservative, and you really have to,
Samantha's like looking cussing at you as if to say you shouldn't wear shorts on stage anymore. Is that what you were saying?
No, I didn't know that was an issue, that wearing shorts on stage.
Well, it could be for like your team. If you're trying to exude, let's say, message or vibe X,
middle America,
and you come out wearing Z, then you know.
I mean, but she's from Florida. We wear shorts.
I know, but you might be alienating people that
like my daughter. You're a role model. You're dressed too sexy, and like that could be a thing, dude. In the Taylor Swift documentary, like her dad and her team was super worried about her doing anything political.
Yeah.
Like when she backed a political candidate, everybody like behind the scenes in the documentary was like, "Don't do it. Why do this? Why do it?"
Yeah.
And then she felt that it was necessary in her life to do that, and then she went ahead, but she got a lot of backlash from a lot of people, and you have to think about that at all times.
I think
you really do, especially like, you know, it's cool when we do House of Blues. I have like this walkout song, and it's all of my like old interview clippings from when I was like 11 or 12, and people are like, oh, Bailey Callahan, 11-year-old Bailey Callahan, 13-year-old Bailey Callahan, and all these people you have to think have watched me for like 9 years progress in age, progress in songwriting. And so even though that might seem like really nothing, like, you know, it is like, I mean, one of my one of the new things is like my saying is like BFC, so like Bailey F and Callahan is, but like that's like, you know, even kind of edgy for me now, because people who have been with me, you know, I like it.
Of course.
But we kind of know you off the air as being like, you know, more like us than I think more people would know.
Yeah.
Because like other people also think with us that we're always like, I don't know, making like, you know, blue jokes on, you know, and we're not, you know, so there is somewhere in the middle that we fully, I can understand
fortunately,
that.
I think that's where social media clears a lot of that stuff up, though, is because you can actually go in and like, you know, do the silly things, or like go on Facebook Live or whatever.
Show your personality.
Yeah, a little bit more than just like BFC on a shirt.
Yeah, right. No, you know, we've never talked about like, you know, another theme I would say of this month, we've talked a lot about social media and kind of the negative aspects of it. And again, I never thought about there is a positive aspect that you're able to actually be more of yourself to your fans and the people that enjoy your music, other than just like
just your songs,
because you're not leaving that t-shirt that might say that up to their imagination. You're able to go there and almost kind of fine-tune it and kind of rectify the narrative.
Exactly.
Isn't it funny that in the music business it seems to be more the female artists that when they're young, aging to older, that suddenly, oh my God, she's wearing less clothing, and the male artists, oh, okay, Justin got a tattoo.
He can do whatever he wants.
Oh, it's definitely
the double standard's crazy.
Right, God forbid
weird.
Bailey wears a smaller shirt and suddenly the whole world freaks out.
Right.
It's a crazy double standard.
Social is,
nobody says anything about guys getting like
person.
face tattoo crazy and just tattoo crazy, and
Crazy
you get one tiny tattoo, and then it's like world melting.
Justin Bieber looks like go to
Looks like
Buffalo.
a roofer. It looks like a roofer.
Go to
Did you say go to Bithlo? Is that what you said?
go to Titusville, Bithlo.
No, go to what is it? Go to the what is the go to
any Jiffy Lube.
Go to
the guy
school
changing
bus
oil.
races.
You're like, is that Justin Bieber? I'm just saying. All right, so let's.
You want to do some music?
Yeah, I want to hear.
Is that cool?
Let's
Can we
do
hear
some music.
Let's do some music.
Yeah.
I don't know how are we gonna work microphones here. Okay. Yeah, last time it worked out all right.
Yeah. I think so.
gonna tune.
I think so.
Yeah, I gotta say thank you guys so much for having me last time. I went in, and the video of us playing last time was like one of the most viewed.
It is.
Yeah.
It gets more views. Like people go in and they search her name and then they find her, and then they just, and some people I've had listeners tell me that they just took the song and put it in a playlist.
Yeah. Well, we're basically leeching off your fame right now. Then one day, when you rocket into the stars, and then you leave Miami Joe behind.
Well, he's working with us now. He's our Miami Joe.
And then,
that's our Rene.
And then you're back in town. We're like, we send you an email, like, please come to the show. You're like, get out of here. Too big for you.
Yeah, it will happen.
Oh, never. No, never.
Okay, should we do it? Are we ready?
I'm ready.
Yes.
I'm going to give you a little something here. When you're ready.
All right, this is Roll. Oh, I love the reverb you put
give you a
on.
little reverb. That's what I did last time. It seemed to work.
Getting me in the zone. Okay. Roll at the wheel on a southbound train, rolling like a ledger, set the record straight. That hole he was digging too deep. Hope she can handle what she stole from me. So I roll, flow like a river, roll like a coast through the wet I cope. I bet your mama never told you. Burn like a fire, you never see the smoke. I'll be drowning in a bottle, but you're never gonna know. It never gets old. When you're rolling stone, baby, I was born to roll. Gonna roll the dice and I'll take it to the house. Roll against the tide, coming in and going out. Mama rolling her eyes, I'm smoking the tires. Keep it rolling, but I'm gonna set the road on fire. It never gets old. When you're rolling stone, I roll like smoke. My soul can help roll. Like smoke, my soul can help roll. Roll like smoke, my soul can help roll. Hey. It never gets old. When you're rolling stone, baby, I was born to roll. I was born, baby, I was born to roll. I was born, baby, I was born to roll.
All right. Awesome. That was
Oh my
great.
God, y'all.
Thank you.
Bailey,
Holy moly.
you are super talented, obviously, and
Renee getting a bass solo in the middle of there. I like that, man.
where can they get the new single?
It'll be on Spotify, Apple Music, really everywhere.
And again, what do they search for?
You can just type in Bailey Callahan.
Okay.
Google, I mean, that's what's cool. As I Googled myself the other day, which is like a blessing and a curse kind of thing, but like everything popped up. So you could Google me, Instagram, all that fun stuff.
There you go.
It's everywhere.
And again, March 13th at House of Blues. She's going to be at, and then what was the other shows you're opening for huge bands?
Well, I have a single release show today, actually, the 28th, at Bonfires in Oviedo.
Oh, that's a great
yeah,
spot.
it's cool. Yeah, really central. Just wanted to keep it low key, just meet people, you know.
Oh man,
say
so you
hi to
guys
all the Callahans.
see some of you guys are gonna I'll use my I'll censor myself. You're gonna F up and meet her while she's like right on the edge.
Yeah.
And then just like us, it'd be us, Miami Joe. You can sit with us in the stands and do nothing.
yeah.
You
We'll
know,
see it
we'll
one
be
day.
waving from the top. Will we have enough as a company to buy a box at the Amway?
Yeah.
I feel like we could at least have a box at the Amway.
One time. We'll bid on credit and we'll pay it off.
Everybody has to chip in. We'll send somebody with good credit down to buy the tickets. Because you got to put it on an Amex or something.
We'll see it. Bailey Callahan's new single, #1. We're like, there it is.
And
Rocket to the
we're
stars.
standing pointing out of her bus. She'll remember us, and then you walk by.
We're like, Bailey,
yeah, we got signs,
I'll be like, to my publicist.
We're like, those are those old guys that did their stinky podcast. Run them over.
Come on now.
Run them over, and then they kill us.
I like you get real mean. You're like, swerve and hit them.
Two bums died underneath the Bailey Callahan bus.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God!
Bailey,
it's always a pleasure seeing you guys.
Thank you so
Bailey,
much.
Rene, thank you
you
guys
very
so much. You guys are awesome. Where are we at now?
Yeah, we're done.
Oh, we're
That's
done.
it.
Yeah.
All right, we got to roll on out of here.
Yeah, there it is.
Hey.
We'll see you next week.